Book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3 and verse 1. To everything there is a season, and a time to have a purpose under the heaven. Verse 8. A time to love, and a time to hate, a time of war, and a time of peace. All praises to Yahweh, by Hashem Habashah, Wahara Kakadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone. Shalom to the hopeful elect that's seeking to be the elect of the nation of Israel. That's scattered abroad amongst the heathen, some looking like the heathen. We get it 144,000 preachers, teachers, and prophets. Shalom. The season of war. Revelation 11 and 14. The second war was past, and behold, the third war cometh quickly. World War 3. Let's hold 2nd Esdras chapter 15 and verse 28. Now, you have right here the Iranian leader. We're going to play a video of him saying it himself as well. Stick with me, y'all. 15 hours ago, Iranian's supreme leader warns U.S. that if they start a war, this time it will be a regional war. Right? Regional war, AI overview. A regional war is an armed conflict that takes place within a specific, defined geographic area, including neighboring nations, non-state actors, and often proxy forces. Unlike a civil war, internal, or a global war, a regional war escalates beyond the borders of two initial combatants to affect a broader shared geographical area, such as the Middle East, the Korean Peninsula, or the Balkans. And it's going to affect the Middle East, all right, Western Asia. Now, Brother Malcolm always like to correct us, which he's right. All right. And you could just read the rest of that if you want. As a matter of fact, we can actually read it. Let's read it a little bit. It reads, key characteristics of a regional war: geographic concentration. The conflict is localized to a specific, often interconnected region. Multiple actors includes, it's saying the same thing. It ain't no need to read that, man. Motivations, driven by political, ethnic, religious, or territorial disputes. All right? That's what regional war means. And it's going to happen. Okay? It's going to happen. Right now, wars are happening, rumors of wars, little tit-for-tat hits, things of that nature, right? But as Iran's supreme leader says, this time, if Trump strikes, it's going to be a regional war. Where is it?
البته این رو هم آمریکایی‌ها بدونن که اگر این دفعه جنگی رو بندازن این جنگ منطقه‌ای خواهد.
You see? You heard it? Well, did you read it? The captions are at the bottom. I'm going to play it again. He said it himself. So this is not hearsay.
این رو هم آمریکایی‌ها بدونن که اگر این دفعه جنگی رو بندازن این جنگ منطقه‌ای خواهد. البته این رو هم آمریکایی‌ها بدونن که اگر این دفعه جنگی رو بندازن این جنگ منطقه‌ای خواهد.
He looked just like my uncle too. Now let's play this. It says it will be a regional war. Iran's supreme leader warns Trump against strikes. Again, we're going to get the prophecy. All right, and this regional war is going to lead to world war. Remember, World War 3 is going to start back east. We get it all the time. Joel the 2nd chapter, Joel the 3rd chapter, Revelation 20, I believe the 8th verse. Um, uh, 2nd Esdras 15, which we're gonna read. Revelation. I'm sorry. Ezekiel 38. You see, this original war is going to turn into a world's war, World War III, and it's going to start back east. Remember, Jeremiah 49, Jeremiah 50, the least of the flock, the Israelis are going to draw them out. They're going to draw America out and the other nations, okay, to the valley of Jehoshaphat, which is in the Middle East or West Asia, all right? And this regional war is going to turn to world war, all right? And it's going to come all the way over here to America when the nuclear missiles are shot from the eastern hemisphere over here to the west. And it's going to destroy all of Babylon, every square inch of it, man. All right? So let's play this real quick.
Iran's Supreme Leader has warned Donald Trump against launching strikes on his country, insisting any attack would lead to a regional war. Now, the US is building up its military assets in the region, and Reuters reports American and Israeli generals held talks this morning amid the tension.
This gentleman keeps claiming that we have brought warships and done this or that. I think you shouldn't scare the Iranian nation with such things, as it won't be affected by such remarks. It doesn't fear rightful confrontation. We are not the instigators, and we do not seek to attack any country. But the Iranian nation will deliver a firm blow to anyone who attacks or harasses it. The Americans must be aware that if they wage war this time, it will be a regional war.
And just in the past hour or so, Donald Trump has responded to those comments, pushing Iran to make a deal on nuclear weapons.
Why wouldn't he say that? Of course you're going to say that, but we have the biggest, most powerful ships in the world over there, very close, a couple of days, and hopefully we'll make a deal. If we don't make a deal, then we'll find out whether or not he was right.
Alex Rossi has more on the regional tensions.
Tensions across the region remain extraordinarily high. We have seen over the last few days and weeks this build-up, this significant build-up of military force by the United States, a carrier strike group, lots of jets, about 30 to 40,000 American personnel now in the Gulf, and very, very strong warnings coming from the White House as well that the Iranians need to give up their nuclear ambitions, change their behavior, or face the consequences. So what we are seeing is a classic sort of gunboat diplomacy. We've seen similar things by the United States under Donald Trump with Venezuela and Nicolas Maduro. So he's using very, very strong language, but it is backed up by a big stick, a naval force to try and coerce the Iranians to fall in line. Now, the Iranians, for their part, are kind of acting in two ways. On one level, they are being defiant. Attack us and face the consequences. There will be there'll be a regional war, says the Supreme Leader, which is quite sort of strategically in line with what a middle power would do when faced by threats from a bigger power. Effectively, what he's saying to the United States is, yeah, attack us, but you'll get dragged into something that will be protracted and extremely costly, and really the benefits of attacking us aren't really there when you think about the significant costs that would happen with a regional war if we ignited all of the countries around this region. So that's what they're saying. But they're also saying as well, we're hearing from the foreign minister that negotiations are going on behind the scenes. That's been confirmed by America as well. There are no diplomatic relations between the Iranians and the United States. It's all happening through back channels. Now, the big question, of course, is remember, Iran is a revolutionary regime. Its whole reason for being is to stand up to the hegemony of the United States and Israel. Is it prepared to make those kinds of concessions? That really fundamentally cuts to the core of it. Now, on a separate note, there have been threats from the US that after the protests, many people were detained, many were killed, and Donald Trump warned the Iranians not to carry out any executions. Now, we have just learned from the family of a man called Irfan Soltani. He was 26. He was detained in early January at one of the protests and was going to be sentenced to death. He was going to be executed after a very quick trial. But we have learned from his family that he has now been released on bail. So perhaps another sign that that the temperature is being dialed down a little bit. That said, that vast armada still remains in the Gulf and tensions remain extremely high.
So there you have it. All right, there you have it. You heard it. All right. Period. All right. Isaiah 34. We're quoting the scriptures all the time. We get them all the time. America, the state of Israel, finish. All right. And Yahweh Shai is going to destroy the armies of Iran, all the armies of all the nations. All right. Yahweh Shai and the angels going to destroy all the armies of the nations. All right. That's in Jeremiah 51. All right. 50, 51. Revelation 6, 2. What's that? The white horse. Revelation 19. Revelation 12 and 7. 2 Edges 13. All right. America and the state of Israel are going to lose tremendously. The other nations, their militaries and weapons are going to be destroyed. Their armies and military are going to be destroyed by Yahweh Shai and the angels. So who's going to win? Yahweh Shai and the angels. The Israelites. We're going to win. All right. Now, we see little tit-for-tat skirmishes and things of that nature is going on, but it's not a regional war yet. But it's going to be a regional war. Let's get the prophecy. All right. So all these tit-for-tat skirmishes and things of that nature, it was a build-up to what's playing out now. All right. And what's going to play out. Okay. Remember, we're in the season of war, so things already built up. Now things are just escalating. All right. Remember, we're in the time of prophecy. You've been constantly warned through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Shema Shai by the prophets. You know, and these things are here. There's not one prophecy that hasn't been touched by the men of the Lord. All right? By the men of Yahweh through his only begotten son, Yahweh Shai. That's why we say Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Yahweh by Hashem, meaning Yahweh in the name of his son, Yahweh Shai. All right? Now, you get 2 Ezra chapter 15 and 28. As a matter of fact, let's start up, because y'all know I love to cut Christians that's talking about they're going to be raptured. All right, so let's start at 24. Really can start up. Let's start at 20. Yeah, let's start at 20. Behold, saith God Yahweh, I will call together all the kings of the earth to reverence me, which are from the rising of the sun, the east, from the south, and from the east, and Lebanon, to turn themselves one against another and repay the things that they have done to them. So, hey, that's that regional war right there. It says that's going to turn into World War III. So, Yahweh Shema Shai's determination to what? Gather the nations. You see? Like as they do yet this day to my chosen, us Israelites, which proves that, hey, God does not love everybody. All right? This is end time prophecy right here. Our forefather Ezra saw the end. Yahweh Shema Shai showed him the end. And our forefather Ezra received these visions during the Medo-Persian Empire. All right? Just read, go to first Ezra's now. The first chapter. Hey, go to the book of Ezra, the first chapter. All right, Ezra and Esdras are the same people. They are Levite priests during the Medo-Persian Empire. All right, it says, like as they do yet this day unto my chosen. So you know it's not talking about the Israelis, the state of Israel. It's talking about us Israelites. Y'all know who we are. So will I do also and recompense in their bosom. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai. All right. Remember, wait ye upon me until I rise up against the prey. All right. My determination is to gather a heathen. All right. It's saying the same thing. My right hand shall not spare the sinners. Who is the Lord's right hand? His son, his only begotten son, Yahweh Shai. Not JC. JC and Yahweh Shai, two entirely different beings, man. JC is a so-called white man, a false god. That goes back to what's his name? Serapis Christus. Then later on became what's his name? Caesar Borgia. All right, real Edomites. False. As you get that Book of Wisdom of Solomon. Is it the 13th or the 14th chapter? How they made the images, how these rulers, kings made the images of their sons as if they were gods and made people pay tribute to them as if they was there. All right? So they ain't just make this image up, man. All right? The Jesus and that fool Jesus and which is in the statue of Caesar Borgia were real Edomites that was on the earth. All right? Yahweh Shai is the real king, the real Lord and Savior of Israel, the Son of the Heavenly Father Yahweh. All right? It says, my right hand shall not spare the sinners, and my sword shall not cease over them that shed innocent blood upon the earth. So you heathen are going to get it. All right? Beginning with you Edomites. The fire is gone forth from his wrath and has consumed the foundations of the earth, and the sinners like the straw that is kindled. So this is the time of judgment. All right? Which the final state of judgment is going to be World War III. All right? It says, woe to them that sin and keep not my commandments, of the Lord Yahweh by Shema Shai, 2/3 of Israel. I will not spare them. Go your way, ye children, from the power. Defile not my sanctuary, meaning you ain't got nothing to do with this truth. You're on the outer courts. 2/3 of Israel are on the outer courts. You're not a part of the body of the church, which would be the elected Israel who have repented and converted and turned back to Yahweh by Shema Shai. Okay? According to the scriptures. For the Lord Yahweh by Shema Shai knoweth all them that sin against him, and therefore deliver he them unto death and destruction. For now are the plagues come upon the whole earth, and ye shall remain in them. You see? But you're supposed to be caught up according to your false doctrine. For God Yahweh shall not deliver you, because ye have sinned against him. All right? So y'all know I love to ask this question. Why are you Christians still here? Now let's get this regional war. In the midst of this regional war, this will turn to World War III. Guess who's going to be here? You Christians. That's supposed to be caught up. I don't know when that shit will happen. Because it's not. All right? Now the elected Israel will be delivered right before the nuclear missiles hit America. All right? Yahweh Shai and the angels are going to come to America from the east. After they finish after Yahweh Shai and the angels finish tearing up the armies, and finish tearing up the asses of the armies back east, Yahweh Shai coming over here to the west. Right then, while them nuclear missiles being shot. All right? And going to deliver the elect by the skin of their teeth, as it says, I believe, in Peter, right before the nuclear missiles hit. The elect going to be beaten up into the chariots. Remember, the elected Israel, the church, are not going to taste death, which would be the second death, which is World War III. All right? That's when they're going to get the new bodies. You know? That's the real deliverance. That's the real rapture that y'all like to use, which that's a made-up term that's not in the scriptures. Okay? What's it? Galatians, is it the 4th chapter? And 1 Thessalonians 4, if I'm not mistaken, Galatians 3 or Galatians 4 or 5. I forget. Going into 1 Corinthians, the 15th chapter. All right? I believe it's also Isaiah 24 or 26. And the book of Revelation, I believe the 11th chapter, if I'm not mistaken. And the 15th chapter, if I'm not mistaken. And Revelation 7. And 2 Esdras 2. All right? Now, this is the region of war, verse 28. Behold, in horrible vision and appearance thereof from the east, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia Saudi Arabia and the mixed multitude of these Islamic nations as well, shall come out with many chariots, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon earth, and it says that all they which hear them shall fear and tremble. And the Carmenians, that's Iran, raging in wrath, shall go forth as the wild boars in the woods, and with great power shall they come and join battle with them. So you see, Saudi Arabia, the Islamic nations, and Iran are going to join forces. All right, they had a little pact agreement a couple of years back. They came together. They still beef. Got their little skirmishes, but when it's all said and done, these Islamic nations are going to come together, man. All right. It says, and join battle with them. It says, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. Right, going into that regional war, man. All right, that regional war. All right, and we just broke down what regional war meant. Now you said, well, who are they fighting? These Edomites. Remember, the U.S. military is over there. All right, they sending troops over there. The U.S. Abraham Lincoln, which would be the what is that? Air Force warfighter ship, something like that. I forget, man. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. And they got and they sent some destroyers over there too. And they got a lot of these United States troops. It's a lot of troops over there. All right. So hey, this what this is talking about is going to turn into a regional war. All right. The little skirmishes are just a build up to what's about to happen. All right. And it's going to happen very, very soon. It says, and shall waste a portion of the land of Assyria, of the Assyrians. All right. Remember, America's likened to Assyria as well. All right. It says, and then shall the dragons have the upper hand, remember their nature, and they shall turn themselves, conspiring together in great power to persecute them. Then these shall be troubled bled, and keep silence through their power, and shall flee. And from the land of the Assyrians shall the enemy besiege them, and consume some of them, and in the host, meaning in the midst of the army, shall be fear and dread, and strife among their kings, right? Their leaders. All right. It says, behold, clouds from the east and from the north unto the south, and they are very horrible to look upon, for the wrath and storm. Right. That's the missiles. All right. And that war, that's the regional war right here. All right. Bomb dropping, missile shot. All right. But this is not nuclear yet. It's going to get nuclear in a minute. We're going to tell you. By way of the Holy Spirit. It says, they shall smite one upon another, and they shall smite down a great multitude of the stars upon the earth, meaning the people. All right? In that region. Even their own star, and blood shall be from the sword into the belly. So it's going to be a lot of death in this regional war, man. A lot of death. It's contained in the 36th verse, and dung of men unto the camel's hoof. You see, that's a lot of death, man. A lot of dead bodies. That's what this regional war is going to bring. And there shall be great fearfulness and trembling upon the earth. Hey, the entire earth, man, from the eastern hemisphere to the western hemisphere, people are going to be terrified because people are going to know that, hey, this is going to lead to World War III. It says, and they that see the wrath shall be afraid, and trembling shall come upon them. And then shall there come great storms from the south and from the north, and another part from the west. It says, and strong winds shall rise from the east, and shall open it, and the cloud which he raised up in wrath, and the star stirreth to cause fear toward the east and the west, wind shall be destroyed. So, hey, a multitude of nations are going to get involved. All the nations are going to get involved. The big dogs are going to get involved. Russia going to get involved. Missiles being shot. More and more allies getting involved. It says, and great and mighty clouds shall be puffed up full of wrath, and the star, it says that they may make all the earth afraid, and them that dwell therein, and they shall pour out over every high and eminent place and horrible star. So now this horrible star is nuclear. All right. Hey, remember, star, like an untimely fig, Revelation. Is it 6? No, it's 8. I think it's 8. I don't know. It's 6. It might be 6 or 8. We're gonna check both of them. Let me see. Revelation. Let's get with that star. Yeah. Stars represent people and also represents missiles. Let me see. It's 6. Revelation 6. And here it is. The White House by Shemar Shah. Revelation 6 and 12. And I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake. And the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood, and the stars of heaven fell to the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind. You see, these stars falling from heaven are the nuclear missiles, and the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places. You see that? That's when it turns nuclear. All right. Now you get Revelation 8, and just to show you also that star means people. You can also get it in Genesis. Revelation 8, and let me see. Revelation 8 and verse, this right here going to the missiles as well. Let me see. Revelation 8. Yeah. 12. But let's start at 8. Because it's going to the missiles too. Revelation 8 and 8. Let's start at 6. And the 7 angels which had the 7 trumpets prepared themselves to sound. The first angel sounded, and there followed hail and fire mingled with blood, and they were cast upon the earth. And the third part of the trees were burnt up, and all the green grass was burnt up. It's America. And the second angel sounded as it were a great mountain burning with fire, was cast into the sea, and the third part of the sea became blood. It says, again, the destruction of America. All right. The end of these Edomites. Okay. Also their navies. And the third part of the creatures were in the sea and had life died, and the third part of the ships were destroyed. You see? It says, and the third angel sounded, and there fell a great star from heaven, burning as it were a lamp, and it fell upon the third part of the rivers and upon the fountains of waters. See, this great star from heaven is nuclear missiles. It says, and the name of the star is called woodworm, meaning bitter, poison. All right, going to that radiation from the nuclear missiles, and the third part of the waters became woodworm, and many men died of the waters because they were made bitter, meaning contaminated with that radiation. And the fourth angel sounded, and the third part of the sun was smitten, and the third part of the moon, and the third part of the stars. So as the third part of them was darkened, and the day shone not for a third part of it, and the night likewise, meaning the end of America, the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of America, their ways, their wickedness is finished. Lights out. All right? Lights out. All right? Just to, show that, stars represents people and also missiles, man. All right? You can also get that in Genesis. Going into an account with our forefather Joseph had a dream about the stars in heaven. And also you get the book of Revelation, the 12th chapter. Is it 12? at the top. The three part of the star. Yep. Yep. Revelation 12 and 1. Yep. Also representing people. All right. Now, if you go back to Revelation, matter of fact, let's get them. Let's get them. Revelation, because stars represents people as well, as we got one in Revelation 8. Let's get another in Revelation 12. And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun. That's the nation of Israel. It says, and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. That's the 12 tribes of Israel. All right. And the sun and the moon represents knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. All right. It's all in Job, Psalms. Real quick, let's get proven in Genesis as well with that stars are people. All right. Represents people. Let me see. Revelation 22, but that's not the one I want to count with Joseph. Let me see. Yep. The water help about Shimon Shah. Genesis 37 and 6. And he said unto them, here I pray you this dream which I have dreamed. Joseph had a dream. He was telling his father, his brothers. He was telling Israel and his brothers, his other brothers. For behold, we were binding sheaves in the field, and lo, my sheaf arose and also stood upright, and behold, your sheaves stood round about and made obeisance to my sheaf. Hey, that happened in Egypt. The sons of Israel, the other tribes of Israel, who sold Joseph into captivity, they came and they was obedient or servants to Joseph. All right. It says that his brother said unto him, shalt thou indeed reign over us? You see, they understood it. And shalt thou indeed have dominion over us? And they hated him yet the more for this dream and for his words. And he dreamed yet another dream and told it his brethren and said, behold, I have dreamed a dream. And behold, the sun and the moon and the 11 stars made obeisance to me. So you see, the 11 stars are talking about the other tribes of Israel. So that's proving, that the stars represents missiles and people. All right, now let's go back to that second Esdras 15. So when you read it, it makes more sense. So you just keep saying, well, it says stars here, that's going to be dead, and stars here is going to be a horrible star. So now you understand, like when you read this prophecy, okay, this star is going to the missiles, and this star is going to the people, and, Second Esdras chapter 15. And now let's start back at 6. And dung of the men unto the camels. Let's start back up at let's just read verse 33 again. And from the land of the Assyrians shall the enemy besiege them, and consume some of them, and in the host shall be fear and dread and strife among their kings. It says, behold, clouds from the east and from the north unto the south, and they are very horrible to look upon, full of wrath and storm. Yeah, these leaders, man, these military leaders of over there, these U.S. armies, man, hey, they're gonna be terrified, man. Hey, that's going into is it Jeremiah 50 or 51? Where the king of Babylon heard the report and was afraid. It says, verse 34, behold, clouds from the east and from the north unto the south, and they are very horrible to look upon, full of wrath and storm. They shall smite one upon another, and they shall smite down a great multitude of stars upon the earth, the people, even their own star, see, their own people, and blood shall be from the soul unto the belly, and dung of men unto the soul. So there's great bloodshed in this regional war. All right, that's going to turn nuclear. It says, and there shall be great fearfulness and trembling upon earth, and they that see the wrath shall be afraid, and trembling shall come upon them. And then shall there come great storms from the south and from the north and from the northern part of the west. And strong winds shall arise from the east and shall open it, and the cloud which he raised up in wrath, and the star stirred to cause fear toward the east and west, wind shall be destroyed. It says the great and mighty clouds shall be puffed up full of wrath, and the star that they may make all the earth afraid, and them that dwell therein, and they shall pour out over every high and eminent place in a horrible star. That's nuclear missile. All right, that we read in Revelation 8. It says fire and hail and flying swords. That's nuclear missiles. And many waters, and all waters meaning representing people. It says, going into Revelation 17, it says that all fields may be full, and all rivers with the abundance of great waters. It says, and they shall break down the cities and walls, mountains and hills, trees of the woods, and grass of the meadows, and their corn. And then and they shall go steadfastly, meaning quick, fast, and hurry unto Babylon, and make her afraid. You see? This Babylon is talking about America. So the war is this regional war is going to turn to World War III, and then it's coming to America. Then shall come to her, America, and besiege. They shall come to her, America, and besiege her, America, the star, and all wrath shall they pour out upon her. You see? Destruction, man. It says, then shall the dust and smoke go up unto the heaven, and all they that be about her shall bewail her. You see? Hey, going to that Revelation 18. Hey, Nahum 3, the last verse. Also Jeremiah 49 and the 50th chapter. You see? It says, and they that remain under her shall do service unto them that have put her in fear. You see? So, hey, the remaining nations, okay, back east, you know, gonna be terrified, you know. Hey, it's gonna be a lot going on, and hey, attacks gonna hit here in America as well before the nuclear missiles shot off. All right, remember, hey, this region it's gonna be a region of war. We just read it, and it's gonna turn nuclear. All right, but hey, a lot of things are gonna hit America, man. All right, and then the nuclear missiles gonna hit America. So hey, a lot about to happen, man. So hey, we reading the prophecy, it's going to happen. All right, it is going to happen, man. All right, it is going to happen. So hey, as we read, let's pull it back up. What the Iran leader said. Cause you can't say, oh man, it's going to be a ceasefire and everything going to be cool. No, it's not. We just read it. If you don't believe the Bible, it doesn't matter. It's still going to happen anyway. All right, it's still going to happen anyway. We just read it. Regardless if you believe it or not, it's going to happen. Iran's supreme leader warns U.S. that if they start a war, this time it will be a regional war. Stay prayed for the names of Yahweh Shema Shai. Hold on, brothers and sisters, man. Hey, Yahweh Shema Shai, hey, got everything rolling. Hey, we just got to hold on. We don't have much longer. It's a lot going on, man, and things going to escalate here in 2026. It's just February, man, the second month of the year. All right? According to the Gregorian calendar. The Passover coming up soon. All right? So you know things going to shift, man. All right? And it's always in our favor. Lord willing, we Yahweh Shema Shai allow us to endure. Stay prayed for the names of Yahweh Shema Shai Shalom.